If you were elected, how would you change Hastings?
If I was elected, how would I change Hastings? I really want to focus on education and improve the quality and breadth of education in Hastings, getting children and families and young people right, giving them the opportunities to get skills, to get jobs, and to actually improve our transport infrastructure, because I think it's all wrapped up in that. I would actually like to lead a cultural change in aspiration and hope for Hastings. That's what I'd like to do.
All right, question 2. What makes you different to the other candidates?
I'm a woman, for a start. Am I allowed to say that?
To a degree, yes. Sorry.
I'm a northerner, a Geordie. I chose to live in Sussex. I've got 3 children, 2 of whom were born in Hastings. I'm rooted and embedded in Hastings and absolutely care passionately about the people of Hastings and Rye.
All right, question 3. Should we pay for the NHS?
Should we pay for it? No, the NHS is free. Absolutely fundamental. I believe that free health for every single person is a human right for people. So no, we should not pay for the NHS.
All right. What do you plan to do about homelessness?
To do about homelessness? Well, the government has brought in a strategy to help local authorities and has funded local authorities to help them with the homelessness. It's got some funding in place. I know both Rother and Hastings have new homelessness strategies, and they're looking at how to prevent homelessness as a starting point. So I think we've really got to look at homelessness. People are homeless for very different reasons. There's a lot of them have multiple and complex needs, and we need to make sure that we get to the cause. They've got mental health issues or substance misuse, and if we can solve that, we can solve homelessness.
All right. Question 5. What is your opinion on Brexit?
I campaigned to leave in 2016 on the grounds of democracy and sovereignty, because I feel very strongly that I want politicians to account to me for the laws and regulations they impose on me. So I want them to take responsibility for their laws and regulations. And I think that's what I expect from elected representatives.
All right. What do you want to do about tuition fees?
Tuition fees. That is an interesting one, because people don't have to go to university. I think university is not suited to everybody. It's a choice that people make. There are lots of other routes, apprenticeships, and we want people to train up with trade skills, get electricians, plumbers. But actually, when you talk to people who've set up their own businesses that perhaps haven't been to university, but they've done really well with their own businesses, their comment might be, why should I pay for someone else's education? Actually, I've set up my own business. So I think if you are deciding to go to university, you will get a better job, and therefore it is possible for you to pay back those fees. But I do think there is room for maintenance grants for disadvantaged people, for disadvantaged children.
All right. What do you think about climate change?
Oh, it's the environment and climate change is something that we have all got to take responsibility for. It shouldn't be party political, and I don't believe it is. So I think something that climate change we're all aware of. We must all do our best to do whatever we can in whatever small way we can to deal with it. And I think the Conservative Party is doing something that's sustainable, to cut carbon emissions, to reduce greenhouse gases, to invest in research and development, to ensure that we have the best technology to deal with climate change.
All right.
But I don't think that that growing our economy with more green technology and capitalism are not mutually exclusive. They can be mutually inclusive.
Well, every single bill does have a loophole. You know what is.
Sorry, what?
All right. Question 8. What is your opinion on drug prices?
Drug crisis?
Yeah.
What's my opinion on drug crisis?
On the drug crisis.
Oh yes, I'm absolutely horrified with the amount of drugs, the county lines we've got. I'm completely against drugs. Having worked in a magistrate's court, I see the damage that drugs, skunk causes. I see men in their early 20s with schizophrenia and psychotic episodes, violent behaviour. I am very against drug, and I would have zero tolerance on drugs. And actually we need to give our police a lot more support in community prevention, and all of us have got to try and do something to combat drugs.
All right, final question. Should high earners be taxed for better public services?
I think we've got to have a fair taxation system, and I think it's worth noting that under a Conservative government, the top 1% of taxpayers actually contribute a quarter of our tax to provide for public services, but fair taxation is essential. If you overtax people, there is no incentive to work harder, and I think that's really important, that people, when they work hard, they're rewarded. So that whole system of low taxation means that people have more money to spend or save. They get to choose what they spend their money or save it on, and I think that's fairer.
All right.
Final question.
Yes.
Why should young people vote for you?
Why should young people vote for me? Because I think the Conservative message has a really good message for young people. We are trying to get them better skilled. We've got a growing economy for jobs. We've cut unemployment. We're skilling people up. We're trying to allow young people to get onto the housing ladder with affordable housing schemes and help to buy schemes. And I think we've got a really good message to sell young people here.